they had Sabrina had somebody, a guest, and when they called her, she said, "Oh, you caught me doing my hair, put my wig on."
Oh my goodness.
Good evening and welcome to the Post Cafe. It is where artists comes alive. The spoken word brings forth the inner creation of hidden treasures, expressing tones of lyrics felt within the soul, a vibration that brings stories untold. This platform represents artists of all backgrounds, be it writers, singers, spoken word, artistic expressions and painting, literature, poetry, and a journey through life. Mystery seeks to bring new ideas and opportunities through the mind at all levels. Wherefore my time leading tomorrow on the wings of yesterday, where birds fly higher than the mystery of dreams never knew. Why do mellow sounds ring silently without ever leaving memories of my lonely blues? We walk by the calls of nature, sing in harmony, pray for the love of the skies, and dance with the stars like a feminine ballerina, gazing across the stage in a soft-toed ballerina shoe. Welcome to the Artists of Poetry Cafe show, Poetically Speaking, hosted by Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCrae. As delighted as we are, we can't wait to engulf a new wave of presenting this platform to our audience. So, sit back and enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let's get started.
Let's get started. It is May, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're here. Jeff, for this evening, is our engineer, and this is Terry Benjamin's and Ron C. McCrae, and this is Poetically Speaking on a Thursday. This is our Thursday show. Today's agenda: see the new me, from pain to power. And the quote of the day is from one of the people on the board behind me, Mr. James Baldwin, right between Maya Angelou and Nikki Giovanni on the top row. That's James Baldwin. And James Baldwin once said that not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. This is from James Baldwin and from a book of essays called No Name in the Street. So again, we welcome you. We're going to have a very interesting conversation, in our Food for Thought segment. We're going to talk about moving from power to purpose. So again, sit back, relax, and as always, we begin with Ron's poetry. What you got for us tonight, brother?
I'd really like to start with this. Names I'm not going to use, but
Okay.
in general, because as you indicated, this month is about health and pain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But let me take a second and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone who's listening, think about your pain, your suffering, your condition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I always say, we're going to separate those who are truly in a situation beyond their physical control. But I want to talk to the ones who mentally, right now, have every power within in the palm of your hand to make a difference and make a change. You can always have a woe is me moment.
That's right.
But think about that woe of your pain. Pain is there to keep you company. Why you keep housing it? It's not paying any rent. Who brought it home? And see, let's be honest. You brought it home based on how you treating yourself, the things you eat, the things you do, and the things you don't do. And that's what's important. If you're not exercising, guess what? If you're not eating right, guess what? If you're not changing the way you think, guess what? No matter how you look at it. We can look around, we see people each and every day. Those who unfortunately have a physical condition, lost something or hurt something or was born with something. But you never see, and I'm going to use me. I have not heard anyone with a physical condition or mental condition. I'm talking about the ones who unfortunately beyond their control complain about woe is me. But those who get up, travel, go to the store, buy what you want, do what you want to do, and you come home and say, woe is me. That's pain right there. It's pain for me to even say this right now. So let's talk of reality of life. We talk about wellness. Wellness and pain may go together, but have pain from trying to be healthy. exercising. It's painful to eat the right food, but it's more devastating when you're suffering from the physical pain, the mental pain. You had to go to the doctor for some doctor to tell you, well, you know, you got this and we're going to do this, but you got 5 side effects. Now you go there for one thing,
That's right. Yeah, then you got
now you got 5 side effects.
Yeah.
So the issue is, again, just in short, and I want to leave you with this.
Yeah.
What is pain? What is your pain? What is wellness to you? And what are you doing to change that pain into a state of wellness?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And before I have a definition of pain that I want to share with our community. And Richard Medley just checked in. Richard Medley is watching. Good evening, Richard. And thank you, brother. And pain, and this is from a book I'm going to get into a little later on in our program. But it says here, again, understand pain is not always negative. It says here, pain is the gatekeeper, a security guard. Pain serves as a useful and important purpose. The intention of pain is to prevent and warn us from becoming more injured, okay? Like, ow, you know? You're going to do something about that, you know? Laretha Foster Brown, good evening, she says. Good evening, Laretha. Good to see you. Again, pain, okay? There's a reason for pain, but we don't have to see it as a negative. As a matter of fact, sometimes pain is really the thing that's going to motivate us to affect some kind of action, you know, as you sort of indicated, you know.
You know, and even to piggyback up what you said, pain is not always negative. And this book and every book on the face of the earth, everything that's positive talks about, you know, life. You know, how you deal with pain. And somebody who's dealing with a chronic situation, and they're doing everything they can. And matter of fact, let me say this. I was introduced to a lady that I see in the park. I see her all the time, but I never spoke with her until I met this other brother who we're friends now, okay? And we was talking, I saw this lady, it's an older woman, a seasoned, I'm going to say a seasoned woman, has a physical condition. And she says, I have to keep moving because the pain I endure, I refuse to allow it to take get the best of me. Now, here's a woman, my understanding, she's in the early 90s.
Wow.
Now, here, I'm a young guy. Listen to this person who's saying what she needs to do to keep from allowing her pain to overindulge her into a state of darkness and holler, woe is me. It's not about that. She keeps moving. What are you doing to keep moving to get rid of that pain and become a healthy person? So even as you indicated, all pain is not negative. It's only negative when you don't do anything about it.
That's true. And Laretha weighs in and she says, we need pain. She says that oddly, pain brings balance and boundaries.
Absolutely.
Okay? So you know that you can't, you know, if you have a muscle condition, you can't throw your arm like that. You know, you might have to, you can throw your arm, but it's in a prescribed movement, you know. And so again, pain is really intelligence to the body.
It's a reminder.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody who drives a car, go to school, work, there are signs. Pain is a sign to tell you something is happening. Your body is telling you something is coming down the pipe, something is wrong. Don't wait till it's too late, because we were talking earlier. How many people you hear on a regular basis who stand out there in the middle of the thunder and lightning, knowing what's happening. Now, the deers and animals done ran and hibernate. You stand out the way, and all of a sudden, now you get hit by lightning talking about what happened. Well, guess what? You don't wait till something happens. You prevent yourself from being in the area while nature take its course. Your body is part of nature. It's taking its course. It's telling you something is wrong. Pay attention to it.
Yeah. And again, in the Bible, you know, suggests and says that, you know, our bodies are amazing. You know, we are amazingly made, and we are made to feel pain because, again, that helps us to move forward with some healing. And Laretha says here, amen. Pain reminded that I am still alive. I want to say it again. Pain, feeling, reminded I'm still alive. You know, if you couldn't feel, I was watching one of these medical shows, and this woman, she couldn't feel pain, and she got stabbed, and and her friend had to bring her to attention because she couldn't feel any pain. And in that case, that was a warning. You know, okay, you're stabbed. You know, you need to get that taken care of. You know, but again, pain is for a reason. Again, we have to use our pain to our advantage.
And it's so true. It's so true. And we're going to have an open dialogue here, and we're going to be discussing a lot of different things.
That's right.
And it may sound like we're repeating ourselves, but rest assured we're not. Believe me. I could say amen 1,000 times, but amen comes from a different perspective.
That's right. That's right.
So I just want to read this, and again, this was a book I shared, but it's a powerful book.
It's a beautiful book.
Lessons in Love.
Beautiful.
You know, most important. So again, it really ties into even the conversation, pain and health and wellness.
That's right. Yeah.
So let me just read this one piece. Physical love is the easy part. Loving with your heart is the hard part. And it ties into really the pain and wellness, even within yourself, if you think about it. Anyone can touch another person's body. It is an ordinary act done by an ordinary human being. But it takes an extraordinary person to touch the heart and soul of another human being and light the fire of love between them.
Yes.
Well, like we said,
Yeah.
pain can be love. I love you. I'm in love with you. You know, I'm painful. And it's good because you know how to lift someone else's spirit. You know how to embrace them. Even as we said all the time, even kids say, I love you. I just want a hug. Well, we are young adults right here on this podcast,
right.
and we can't even get a smile. No.
But I think Laretha says it best. You know, pain reminds us that we're alive. You know, because we feel it. Dina Robinson. Good evening, Terry Benjamin and Ronald McCrae. Good evening, Dina. Good to see you watching. But again, you know, I don't care what pain you go through. There's a lesson. There's a lesson after the pain. Okay, there's something that you got to take care of. Whether it's a physical pain, whether it's emotional pain, you have to deal with that. You know, because that's like our early warning system. You know, we got something that we have to deal with, and that's not a bad thing because if you weren't alive, you wouldn't have to deal with this.
And you know, and it's a blessing.
It's a
I mean,
blessing, yeah.
it's a learning lesson. It's a blessing because you said a minute ago, how many people who were born with a condition they don't feel pain.
That's right.
You can slam and stab them, whatever, they don't feel pain. And so, it's really something to seriously think about. And ask yourself, what if I didn't have pain? What if I did not or was not able to feel pain? What would that be like?
Yes.
So if somebody slapped you upside the head with a hammer and you say, what?
Time to move.
Or get burned and find your hand and the skin all burned up and you stand there.
That's right, yeah.
But things are a warning. And all this is centered around health and wellness. Changing the way you think. Helping somebody who's dealing with a situation mentally or physically. Help somebody. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, because Laretha goes on to say, pain alerts us. Yeah, you know, it's again, like I said, it's the early warning system. Okay, pain lets us know that something is not right. Okay, and we need to take care of that. You know, so again, we say pain is not always a negative thing. Sometimes, and I think all the time, there's a lesson that we gain from our pain. You know, and so we got to use our pain to our best advantage because it is there to be used. And so tonight we're talking about pain, but you know, a book I'm going to share a little later, they have a little prescription. It says pain plus passion equals purpose. Okay, pain plus passion equals purpose. And then in the book here. It talks about purpose. And it says here, purpose, defining purpose. What is purpose? Purpose, the plan for our lives that God has orchestrated, okay? So this is, again, another gift from God. He gives us a purpose, you know? And so, again, we're going to talk about pain tonight. We're going to talk about passion tonight. And we're going to talk about purpose.
You know, and as we said, will continue. And again, your comments is important because as you write in and talk to us, we can, get into a conversation and go back and forth. Because again, you might raise something that we may not be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But as you indicated, conversation, because every single day, even outside of this topic tonight or this month, pain does not go away. Oh, I don't want to get up and go to work. I'm tired of this. Well, it's painful
to get out of that bed.
Exactly. It's painful to hear somebody complain all the time. I'm quite sure there's a lot of y'all out there who could tell, I'm tired of somebody calling me complaining. That's painful.
That's a human condition.
Exactly. So what's important is the fact that, how do we change pain into a laughter, humor, to feel better? That's the antidote to rectify a situation that does not have to grow within inside of you.
Yes.
How do we change the direction of pain?
That's right. And Laretha says that purpose is such a profound word. It is, and especially when you realize where it's coming from. Again, want to move on, and we're going to cover all these bases tonight. But this book I'm excited about. In the morning I listen to KBLA radio, and it's coming in from the West Coast. Now, there's a time difference, and so when I'm listening to it at 9 o'clock, but I think they're like at 7 o'clock that show is on, and it's called First Things First, and this is from Dominic DePrima, who is the sister of Roz Baraka. And her father is the Imam Mary Baraka, who is up on the board there. And one of the shows is hosted by this woman here, Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford. And the book that I'm going to spotlight here in the Mind, Body, and Book segment is entitled Employ Your Pain. Employ Your Pain, putting the hurt to work for you. And this is from Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford. And it says here, I'm reading from the back of the book here, in this groundbreaking book, licensed psychotherapist Dr. Shalonda Crawford presents a transformative approach to healing and personal growth. Adeptly known as Dr. Sunshine, she offers readers a powerful toolkit to harness the pain that life presents and turn it into a source of strength and resilience that pays off in the long run. Through engaging stories, practical strategies, and information, Employ Your Pain guides you on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Whether you're facing past traumas, navigating difficult relationships, or struggling with inner turmoil, this book will help you unlock your true potential and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Discover how to embrace your pain, transform it into wisdom, and create a future filled with hope and possibility. Employ Your Pain teaches you how to invest valuable stock in you and make a multitude on your return. It's not just a book, it's a roadmap to a more authentic and empowered existence. And I just want to just another quote from this book here, and this is Dr. Shalonda Crawford, and she says here, be realistic about hurt. Hang on to the lesson, okay? Pain, and there's a lesson, okay? It's like, it's the Bible talks about the test and then the testimony. That's why I love biographies, autobiographies, people talking about their lives, they lived a life, and they gone through many tests, and the testimony is usually found in a book on their life. And that's why I really love having the Mind, Body, and Book segment, because it gives me an opportunity to introduce you to new books. And this book, again, is Employ Your Pain, Putting the Hurt to Work for You, Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford. And again, it's a book about self-healing and also self-discovery. And so again, I think you'll really enjoy this book if you pick it up.
I want to read this, and again, we'll be going back and forth.
Yes.
And again, this is from also What Are the Leading Causes of Life by Dr. Thurman E. Evans.
Mm-hmm.
And this everything, because it comes back to a word that was used.
Yes, yeah.
Everything is working for the same main purpose.
Yes, yes.
Life for the whole. Nature uses all of its components, no matter how big or how small.
Yes, yes.
It puts to use the microscopic and the macroscopic and the microscopic. It uses the oceans and the ants. It uses bees and trees. It uses soil and the sun. It uses manicure and bacteria. It uses plants and animals. Nature overlooks nothing. Nature ignores nothing. It discounts nothing. It dismisses nothing. It discards nothing. Nature puts everything to use. Nature maximizes, nature ties everything in its together in relationship to achieve a common purpose, life.
Yes.
The diversity of relationships and the relationship of diversity are the core of the abundance of life in nature. The diversity in relationship and the relationship of the diversity are at the core of the power.
Yes.
Productivity, prolificness, persistence, and replenishing of nature. Likewise, businesses that have a diverse of talent, perspective, skills, expertise, and experience all tied together, and serving customers by the operating principle, altruistic egotism will succeed. Nature is the ultimate model of and for diversity. Nature is the greatest manager of diversity in existence. Nature teaches that where there is an environment that welcomes, values, employs, and empowers around a common purpose, there will be success.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I love that. Again, we're talking about pain, passion, and purpose. And again, I go back to the book that I just shared with you. Pain, the gatekeeper, a security guard. Pain serves a useful and important purpose. The intention of pain is to prevent and warn us from becoming more injured. Passion, the incitement to do what is within our reach and capabilities. Okay? I want to say that again. Passion, the excitement to do what is within our reach and our capabilities and purpose. The plan for our lives that God has orchestrated. So pain plus passion equal purpose. And again, when we get into our food for thought segment, we're going to go into this really deeply. We're going to actually bring up a very, very popular and very important scripture, because we want to give you the best of our thinking on this particular subject, because we think that it's important. Want to take a few minutes just to share some things with you. We have our conversations, and sometimes my brother says something that sort of inspires me to investigate some things. And he mentioned a song some time ago, and it was entitled "Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong." And when he said that, I said, that song sounds familiar. And of course, I had to do some research, and "Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong" is a song from The Whispers, which was actually released in 1969. And again, I started listening to this song, and then I got into some other songs as well. So tonight, and I try to make it a story here. So tonight, please indulge me here. So this will be the Whispers medley. And one of the things about the Whispers is, it's like 5 men, and 2 of the men on stage are twins. And it was always jarring to see, on a left and a right is the same person. But again, one of my favorite groups. And again, and I love about them, Ron, is they did the fast songs, but they did the slow songs, but then they did songs which I call songs of social commentary. And this is definitely a song that really is a social commentary. And this was released in 1969, but it is relevant right now. And so the name of the song is "Seems Like I Gotta Do Wrong." And it reads, "Another day has come and gone in a world where I don't belong. Another week has passed me by. It's not because I didn't try. Nobody saw me walking and nobody heard me talking. Seems like I got to do wrong, got to do wrong, got to do wrong before they notice me. Another job that I can't get. A nice apartment the landlord just won't rent. I go to bed, but my sleep won't come. My belly's empty and my brain is numb. Nobody saw me walking and nobody heard me talking. Seemed like I got to do wrong, got to do wrong, got to do wrong before they notice me. Before they notice me. Seems like I got to do wrong before they notice me. Yes, I got to do wrong before they notice me. Seems like I got to do wrong before they notice me. You know, though this was sung by the Whispers, it was written by D. Irwin, Jerry Williams, and Lynn Farr. And I mentioned the songwriters because sometimes when we hear these songs, we think that the artist who sang the song wrote the song, and that's not always the case. I want to continue with my Whispers medley, and I want to go to another very profound song. And this is Olivia, Lost and Turned Out, and this was released in 1978. And this is from Whisper's album called Headlights. And it goes here, Olivia, the slave, got distracted on the way to grandmother's house. A wolf in lamb's clothing came, blew her mind, and changed her ways, and now she's turned out, lost and turned out, and turned out. She's spending most of her time walking the streets. She has a certain quarters to fill. He wants to buy a new Seville. What in the world? What is the world coming to? So many are used and abused. There's over 10 million girls who are lost in this world. What will your folk kin say, Olivia the slave? It must be breaking their hearts in two. Listen close. They're calling you, Olivia, 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 Olivia. Where's your will? She's lost and turned out. Don't buy that guy no Seville, lost and turned out. Olivia, the slave, lost and turned out. Don't let him drag you to your grave, lost and turned out. Olivia, where's your mind? Lost and turned out. He pulls you down all the time, lost and turned out. Olivia, stop and think, lost and turned out. He's taking your cash to his bank, lost and turned out. Olivia, break the change, lost and turned out. Stop using your body and use your brain, lost and turned out. And it's a very sad story, but you know what? Think of the P. Diddy situation right now. And there's a young lady who's being interrogated by the prosecution and defense, you know. She seems to have been lost and turned out. So this problem is not new. And again, it's still going on. But I like to end on a more upbeat note, you know, because again, there are problems of the world. But, you know, the Whispers, they gave us love songs. They gave us love songs of social commentary, but they also gave us dance songs, you know. Yeah. And this song, man, you know, this will get a party started. And this is from 1987 from an album entitled Just Gets Better With Time, which is another great song, you know, from the Whispers. And this song is entitled Rock Steady. And it says here, and I read, I looked at you. You stole my heart. You were all that I anticipated. I wanted you, every part, but I know that love would be complicated. I began to touch, but you wouldn't let it. It never seemed to be the right time. I started to give up, down to the limit, and then you changed your mind. Oh, and we began to rock. Steady, steady rocking all night long. And we began to rock. Steady, rock until the break of dawn. Rock, steady, rocking all night long. Rock, steady, rock until the break of dawn. You looked at me. To my surprise, you were through anticipating. I should have known it was your eyes that you were getting tired of waiting. You wanted me so much, but I didn't get it. How could a fellow be so blind? I started to give up, but love wouldn't let it. Then you walked into my life, and we began to rock. Rock steady, steady rocking all night long, and we began to rock. Rock steady, rock until the break of dawn. Rock steady, steady rocking all night long, all night long. You wanted me so much, but I didn't get it. How could a fella be so blind? I started to give up, but love wouldn't let it. Then you walked into my life, and we began to rock. Steady, steady rocking all night long, and we began to rock. Steady, rock until the break of dawn, rock until the break of dawn. Everybody steady rocking, rocking to the break of dawn, man. And we were like, at the club, we were rocking. We were rocking. We were shaking the house, man. You know, it reminds me when we in our youth. We're still in our youth, you know. We're in our later youth, you know. This is the later youth, you know. But we were in our youth. Go to these parties, man. People would be getting down, man. They would be dancing and having such a great time. And again, please, I mean, you know, we're serious on the program, but not so serious that we can't have fun, man. You know, and again, and please, you know, dancing is still the best exercise, you know, and you can just dance in your house, you know. But again, you got to keep moving, got to keep that blood pumping, you know, because that's life, you know. If the blood start flowing through your body, you know, you're done. And Dina Robinson says, "Oh, this is deep, Terry Benjamin, love it." Dina, rock with me. Laretha, rock with me. Richard, rock with me. Steady rocking. And just give you a little note here. A lot of people don't know this song, Rock Steady, was written by Aretha Franklin. Yeah, Aretha, or Aretha, you know, and we claim her, you know, the Aretha, the Aretha Franklin of you know, Dr. Feelgood, you know. And the thing, man, it's so funny. A lot of times when I do the, you know, the music is lit, and sometimes, man, I'm like laying in bed and it's like a jukebox going on, you know, because you had mentioned "Seem Like I Gotta Do Wrong," which is a very serious song, because again, you know, people just want to be heard, man. People want to be noticed. And do I have to act up for you to notice me? I mean, do I have to do wrong for you to give me my humanity, to give me the feeling that I need? And that never grows old, man. We never get to the point where we don't want to be appreciated, you know. And Laretha says, "I couldn't rock steady in this day and time, laugh out loud, but I most certainly dance all the time at home because it keeps me useful."
Absolutely. Move your hips. Do something.
You got it. You got it. Because again, man, and that's why, man, you know, I think, you know, they ask, what is the fountain of youth? Okay, what is the fountain of youth? Okay, it's not some water that we can drink. Okay, it's things that we can do. We can exercise, walk. You know, we can eat the right foods, and when I say right foods, I mean foods that are alive, not foods that are dead. And sometimes the food can be overcooked. Okay, don't overcook your food. You know, I mean, that broccoli shouldn't be soggy. It should be, you know, it should be crunchy and crisp. And so I'm saying to you, I don't care what your financial situation is, we can do things to help ourselves. And also, you know, again, exercise, you know, drink water, eat right. And again, another, if you want to dip into the fountain of youth, laugh. Laugh out loud, man. Have that belly laugh. You know, watch something that is so silly that you're embarrassed to watch it. You know, there are some adults, probably no one out there, who still watch cartoons. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that if it makes you happy. You know, Aretha says here, your mentality is an antidote to life. You know, again, it's mind, body, and spirit. But I said for us, we're going to expand it. Okay, so we used to say mind, body, and spirit, but on this program we're expansive. And so when I say mind, body, and spirit, the holistic approach, what we mean is that it is the mental, the physical, the emotional, the biochemical, and the spiritual. Okay, when I say biochemical, I mean biochemical is what you're taking into your body. It has the nutrients. It has the vitamins and whatnot. We can take supplements, and sometimes we need to, because again, vitamin D is what you get from the sun, but it's kind of hard to really to get that. So sometimes we have to get a supplement. But my point is that we have within ourselves, within our agency, to live a better life, to live a long life, but to live a long life, but live it in a healthy way. I don't want to live a long life if I'm confined to a wheelchair or I'm confined to my bed. I want to be able to walk and talk and laugh and hug my grandchildren and just be with my friends and family and you, community. You know, I mean, I look forward to Thursday and Sunday. Once we finish the program, I'm writing the next program, because again, this for me, this is my social interaction, and that's another a component of the fountain of youth. You know, we need the social interaction. We need each other. You know, again, no man is an island, and no man should or woman should stand alone.
And you know, to tie into that, there's a difference between enjoying yourself and there's a limit to acting a fool. We ain't talking about the ones who act crazy and foolish. So let me say this. One thing I would say,
yes,
I mean, I give a lot of credit, respect to those who deserve it. One thing I would say is that more women have no shame getting out there, shaking and moving, enjoying themselves. And that's what it's all about. Just like kids. Kids get out there and they do whatever. It doesn't matter if you're in the groove or not. The point is that joy and that excitement, that happiness within inside of yourself. I've seen it still exists today. You see women, and even some men, but mostly women, 80, 90, and 100, out there doing their thing.
That's right.
And you have those who are capable of doing something, sitting on the side. Look at him. He all this and that. Hold up. But who's enjoying themselves? It's all about enjoying the moment of who you are. Let that energy flow. That's what it's all about. God didn't give you energy to hold on to it. No. He gave you the energy so it can flow through you and then spark somebody else. That's right. We sit here and laugh. We have fun. So the whole thing is being serious and having fun. But we are extremely mindful and respectful of those who are not. But those who can make a difference in the lives of somebody else. And in short, I worked at this facility where, you know, there was clients, some was awarded to the state, some had physical and mental situation. One thing I've learned, in any facility, you can tell your mere presence, if it's positive, it brings a smile on that person's face, young, senior, or whatever, even if they couldn't speak to you, but you can tell a smile, or they look around trying to get a sense. That makes it different. And all that is based on the energy that you have. So again, enjoy yourself. That's right. Have a dance. Dance with somebody. Hey, come on, girl, can dance with me. I don't know you. It doesn't matter. It enjoy the moment. Yeah. And
it's so funny because on Facebook they have these line dances, you know. Right. And they have this one dance. The lyric is boots to the ground.
Right.
Where's the fans at? You
right.
know, and you know sometimes they use a fan and sometimes they don't. But it makes me laugh because I'm not good at line dancing. I'll let you know that right away because I get mixed up. Okay, I don't know when the cha-cha slide or this, that, you know, I get mixed up. So I usually stand back and watch, but I enjoy it though. I enjoy people coming. I might jump in there and do a little something.
Right.
But it's so funny. I remember when my girls were teenagers, they would go to a party, and they would always come home disgruntled. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "We didn't have a good time." I said, "Why not? I'm sure they had a good DJ and whatnot, but this is why they didn't have a good time." They come to the party. They get to the party at 10 o'clock. They spend an hour just on the sidelines talking, and then now it's 11 o'clock, and then at 11:30. Now they got to talk about somebody else, you know. Now, and then at 12 o'clock, they decide to dance, but then the party's over at 12:30. Now, they've been there since 10 o'clock, but they only party from 12 to 12:30, and they half did that because they didn't really let loose, you know. And I laughed at them because us younger, older people, when we get to the party, it's on. Okay, from we hit the door, we dancing. Especially they playing the 60, 70, 80 minutes. We're going to be dancing, if it's from 10 to 12:30, we're going to be dancing from 10 to 12:35. We're going to squeeze it to the last drop, you know? Because James Brown used to say, you know, like, maybe the last time, I don't know. you know? You know, and they say it in church, right? May be the last time, may be the last time, may be the last time. Good God Almighty. I don't know. I don't say good God Almighty, but I can remember the lyric. But the point is, man, live life to the fullest, man. Live each day like it's the last, because one day it will be that.
You know, I give positive, as I mentioned before, I give a lot of credit to women who don't have no shame getting out there and dancing. But now I'm going to flip that script. I'm stone serious.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I used to go to clubs all the time. I could tell you almost all the clubs in New Jersey I used to go to, even in New York.
Yes, right.
And I'm be honest with you.
Please, be honest with us right here.
I had to catch my words I was going to use.
No, please. You know, this is a semi-family show.
There's nothing worse than, and I'm going to say from my perspective, or even a lot of brothers who come to a club and just want to have a dance. They ain't looking to do anything. They just want to dance. No. And I used to see one of the last places up in East Orange, I think it was the Evergreens and then the Peppermint Lounge. Uh-huh. Group of women, sisters sitting at the table. You ask one sister, and you see the domino effect. No. Oh, hold up. So actually, I stopped going to clubs because I was defeating the whole purpose of going there, enjoying myself, and yet you can't get a dance, and then you get a lot of group of women, they want to stand and dance with each other. What's wrong with dance with the brother?
And look, let me get in on this rant.
Yeah.
Ladies, you have destroyed many men, especially when you off of the sideline and you do what I call a sit-down dance. Oh, man, you just patting your foot and you clapping your hands and whatnot. I come over to you. I know you want to dance. I know that you want to dance. And I come over to you and I ask you to dance and you say no. Now, that's not the worst part. The worst part, now I got to walk back to Ron and the boys because you shot me down. And they're laughing or trying not to laugh. But you know what really hurts? When a guy like Richard Medley comes over to you and he don't even ask for a dance. He just look at you and you jump up and dance with him. That ain't right.
And the question would be why? What was it about him?
Yeah, what was it about him?
And all I want to do is just dance.
That's all.
So my thing is too, I used to say this, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, please.
Why the hell you even come to the club?
Why? And Aretha says, go in the door dancing back in the day. And Dina Robinson says, Terry Benjamin, you sound like you're a lot of fun. That's a good thing. Yes, I am. And Richard Medley, he talked about the Brown Derby. Now, I know the Brown Derby in Elizabeth. Yep. I mean, again, I was too young to go to the Brown Derby, but I would peek in the window because I'm thinking that's the entrance to adulthood. Right. But when I got of age, I didn't want to go to the Brown Derby. I want to go to New York and party. Man, but ladies, please, the next time a young man like this young man asks you to dance with him. Okay, he's not trying to date you. He's not trying to make you his wife. He just want to have a little fun. He got his suit on. Yeah. He got his tie on. He shined his shoes.
Everything.
He got on nice socks and his good underwear.
Even got a haircut.
Even got a haircut. And now he got to go home feeling bad about himself
and crying. And then you get mad at the brothers when the brothers come out and they show, unfortunately, the negative side. But the negative side is not really a harsh side. It just means that they was upset and disappointed because only thing they wanted was just a dance. They just want to have a good time.
That's right. And you heard the brother's feeling. He just said, well, you F you so. And he don't really mean it. It's just that the brother's hurt. And Dina Robinson said, you guys are hilarious today. And Dina said, oh, yes, that was one of my clubs, the Brown Derby. And what about Zanzibar? Hey, you know, that's what about the garage?
Yep.
What and go to New York? What about the Dome? And the Dome was a club where basically all it was just Ronnie just had a jukebox, you know.
And then you had the scene down in Sayreville.
Yes, yeah, hey, let's talk about it. And Dina Robinson says, I was a barmaid at the Brown Derby.
What?
But the point we're making is that, you know, come on, Brothers 3.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Exactly.
Richard, you're bringing back some memories
That's
now,
right.
man. I'm gonna have to go out here and find a disco, whatever that is.
In all seriousness, you know, it's really something to think about.
something to think about.
Because even before our time, and even right now, our ancestors back in the 60s and 50s and 40s and whatnot, what they call the juke joint.
That's right.
Everybody was partying. Everybody was
Everybody
dancing,
partying.
having a great time. In the South, everybody was enjoying. All of a sudden, you get stuck up here. And the question is why? It's about life. Let's enjoy it. So
let's enjoy
even
it.
now, I don't care how old you are, shake something.
That's right.
Act like somebody said, look, I might go to church, but I know how to shake a little bit out here. Enjoy yourself.
I do. And Dina Robinson says, what? The Dome was in the village, right? Yes, it was in the village.
Yep.
And I remember the Dome was just so thick and so funky. Like I said, was just a jukebox.
Yep.
And people would come into the Dome, you know, they had on their shirt, they had an actual hand towel in their back pocket.
exactly. That's
because,
right.
you know, we're going to get down, we're going to
That's
get
right.
funky,
That's
we're going to get loose,
That's right.
you know. Brothers 3, yours, mine, and ours.
Yep.
Dina, you're bringing back memories.
Uh-oh.
You know, come on now.
And so you ask a question, you ask a question, and it kind of comes back, but not to harp on it. It comes back to what happened.
What happened?
Is there a pain that overshadowed you and took you out of the scene of being health and well? You know,
I don't know.
whatever
I
you
don't know.
have, let it shake, let it shine, smile, a conversation. Let's have fun.
That's right. Richard said 901, you know. Like what Michael Jackson said, you know, like, you know, I want to rock with you all night long, you know. You know, we got so off track, community, because now we're in our silly mode. But I just wanted briefly food for thought. You know, we quoted Romans 8:28, and it says here, and we know that all things work together for good for those who love God, who are called to his purpose. And I just want to stay on that for a few minutes because, again, I always say, Ron, that we've had our jobs, you know, the 9 to 5s and whatnot. Right. Now we're into our purpose. We're into our calling. And I get, in family, community, this is what I want to leave with you. We're not finished just yet, but I just want to say to you that find your purpose. Find your purpose, because you know it is still, you know, it is still time for that. You know, some of us are maybe blessed to are retired. I'm retired. My brother is retired. You know, but we still have fun, and we still have life to be lived. You know, Richard Medley. You know, he messed with me. Yeah, the basement parties. Oh man! And I'm gonna do you one better. Remember the basement parties where you went there, they mark your hand, and you pay a quarter. And I didn't realize that was for somebody's rent. I didn't realize that. All I knew was that it's dark down here. It's dark in this basement, you know. But we're gonna party. We're gonna party like it's 1999, you know, because again, that's what young people did. And I remember when we were growing up, Ron, everybody was skinny. We were skinny because, especially if you live in Elizabeth, you start partying downtown, you walk all the way uptown to another party, and then back downtown, and it's all in one night.
Absolutely.
Dina Robinson, yes, 901, Lion's Den, Calvin's, my place.
Yeah.
But again, don't lose that, man. Don't ever lose the mobility. You know, I mean. I remember I used to go to Branford Place to see James Brown. I'll tell you, man, the James Brown Review, that's when James Brown was, I mean, he was in his heyday, man. He was dancing, doing the splits and everything else, you know. And I remember going to the Apollo Theater and seeing all those live acts and whatnot. I love those shows. I love being in that atmosphere, you know. those people really, they put in the show. I mean, a guy, I remember seeing the OJs, man. You know, those brothers came on there, and they came on around. They had the nice suits and whatnot. By the time they finished their concert, the shirt was soaking wet, the tie was off, you know, the jacket was off. You know, they really put on the show, man. It wasn't nothing cool about that. They got funky, they got loose because again, you know, we paid for that, and they were involved on stage, and we were involved on stage. Richard Medley, Eastwick Port. Boy, this brother, I mean, Rich, you can maybe think you was a big party guy there, man, because you know all the clubs here, you know.
And you had bogeys up there in East
Oh, yeah.
You know,
brother, come on.
The bogeys and whatnot. Yeah. They had jazz clubs. So you ask a question. Yeah. Here's a question, and
Please.
I didn't get into it, but I want you to think about it.
Think about it.
The question is, what happened? What happened from when you was in your youth until the point now we can talk about and laugh about, but you're not doing it. What happened? See, everything, unfortunately, on the negative side was done by design.
Yes, sir.
Took away the bars, took away the clubs, took away this, and took away that, and now everybody's sitting at home on the podcast watching TV or gossip on the phone. But nobody comes out into the public, into the parks, into the streets and have fun. We used to go to your neighbor, and they used to have pork chops and hard balls and chili in the backyard, and you could party, you could hear the music all over. The only thing you hear now is loud blasting music, somebody driving down your street trying to drive you crazy. So the point is right now, please, whatever it takes, just like we enjoying ourselves and having fun, there's no reason why we should have the conversation as opposed to doing something. We should hear about that party. Forget all that. Well, them old people, they have no. We acting where you not acting. We acting mature in the manner of being a childlike. But we're having fun.
That's right.
We're not out here acting crazy, killing up and trying to destroy anything. We want to have fun. So that's what's important. Let's have fun. We can have serious, and many of those, I'm going to be honest with you, you go to church and shout hallelujah, this and that and the other, and all of a sudden you get all stuck up. Or you go to the mosque and get quiet, whatnot. Or you go to the synagogue and whatever. But the bottom line is, God said to have life and have it abundantly. Yes, it is gone. You know not what forth tomorrow may bring. Well, you don't know. Tomorrow's not promised, but you know not what forth an hour may bring. So we only have this moment, this time to laugh, to talk, to share, and have fun. Enjoy yourself. It has nothing to do with your age. Enjoy yourself.
Please, and Richard says amen and amen. And basically what we're saying tonight, you know, and every time we come here, you know, again, it's not over until it's over. And because it's not over until it's over, we need to do a couple of things. You know, first of all, we need to stay lifelong learners, okay? Lifelong learners, you know? And also think about healthy aging. Look, you can't stop aging, okay? You can slow it down, you know? You can take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is really sharing your talents, you know? I know a lot of people, you know, started studying instruments in their later years, you know. Now they become accomplished pianists or whatever, you know. And Dina Robinson says, I agree, 100%. Live, love, and be happy and enjoy yourself. I mean, I think that's the message. You know, we started today's agenda with See the New Me, from pain to power, okay? I tell you, man, you know, exercise could be the cure for arthritis if you got that going on there, you know, that little pain in your back there, you know. Sometimes you got to shake it out, you know. And again, and that's why I said a lot of times, you know, we get too comfortable. We let people say, well, no, you're too old for this, you're too old for that. No, you're never too old to do the things that you love to do. And I always say, Ron, you know, you gotta hold on to your passion. Whatever your passion is, do that passion. And when we do the music is lit, you know, definitely we talk about the music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you know. And Dina says, no pain, no gain. But one of the things, Ron, that sort of makes me a little sad is that when our generation goes, you know, the 70s and 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s music may go with us, you know, unless they sample it, because I don't know what's going on now here in music, you know. I mean, I don't follow that. I'm still listening to, you know, Stevie Wonder and Isley Brothers and Whispers and that kind of thing, because this is a music that means something to me, you know, the slow songs, the ballads, you know. In my weekly column, I'm talking about the Delphonics, you know, and the whole sexy soul movement, you know. And again, William Hart, the lead singer, he passed not too long ago. He was 77, and so again, you know, we in our a lot of us are on our 70s, you know, and when Richard Medley talks about the OJs, Eddie Levert is still around, and he's in his 80s. Him and you know, Walter Williams, you know, they're in their 80s, you know, and they always, well, they said that they're going to retire. Maybe it's time to do that. But again, man, you got to do what you love. And, you know, as always, man, time flies when you're having so much doggone fun. And so I'm looking at the clock here, and I think we got about like maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We got to run. We're running, man.
Let me say this, and I want to read something. I may not get to the whole thing, but let me say this. What's important right now at the sound of my voice,
yes,
as you was just mentioning about the OJs and the songs and old stuff, anyone who has albums, cassettes, tapes, whatever, you hang on to those, because as this time passes on, those things are coming back.
yes.
Seriously, the 78, the 45, all those come back. Right now, see, what you have is free. Mm-hmm. What the system is doing is want you to download that and pay for something you already have free. Don't discard that stuff. And so let me read, how much time do I have? 1 minute? Let me read a little bit of this. And the title of this is Discarded to Prop Treasure, from trash to treasure. Life is a long journey in search of opportunities to access a world of happiness. How can one define the happiness looks like while being blinded by external distractions without considering that things are merely an illusion designed to appear real? And again, I'll finish that later, but what's important is that, again, enjoy yourself.
Ooh, ooh. And just to add to that, before we say goodnight, Richard Medley says, enjoy life, okay? Enjoy life. Again, this has been, believe it or not, Poetically Speaking with Terry Benjamin and Ron C. McCray. You know, again, it's Thursday night. We'll come back on Sunday. When we come back Sunday, we'll have a special guest. But in the meantime, look, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, get some exercise, get some water, get some good food, and hug somebody.
Absolutely. Say, smile, shake, say, hey, how you doing?
Good night.